Hello, good afternoon again. I'm posting this out on a Tuesday as I normally do. So last week I did my last episode was on the serpentine arms to rehabilitate your back and your upper body. Today I'm back to talk and have a little vlog with you. I wanted to share with you this morning. I heard on the radio while I was coming back from sending my kids to their horse riding camp. It's school holidays here in Spain. Now, about a professor of psychiatry in Massachusetts who's trying to cut down on the amount of medication he gives his depression patient. Now, we all know that mental health is, we're kind of like talking more and more about it now. It's no longer a taboo subject, but it's a very important subject we need to talk about. Now, of course, in the US, the medication is, the prescription medication is a lot more than here in Europe. So he's saying, I'm trying to cut down. I want to make sure that my patients get more holistic health than they would have, up to today. So he's come up with a strategy to get them to become less, susceptible to depression and more and away from medication. So what was his tip? This is it. He basically told his patients when they call him on the phone, "Doctor, I'm feeling my depression coming up again." He'll tell them, "Step outside." Literally. He claims that for most of his patients, 15 minutes being outdoors, as soon as they feel the depression coming, has tremendously helped them. Now, I did a bit of reading this morning and found out that actually outdoor depression therapy is becoming big. It's as simple as going to do a bit of gardening. I need to do some gardening. And even now, therapists are doing guided camping, guided bushwalk, guided trails. It is about spending time outdoors. Even if you're not living like in the countryside and you have no access to gardens or nature, even just walking for 15 minutes in the park. Let's say you live in New York or you live in London, there's very little, places where you can do nature trails or you can do camping. Just being in nature, spending time in nature. Science has proven actually over and over again that nature has a healing property. So it is about spending just 15 minutes smelling the fresh air. If you live in a big city, okay, maybe a little bit less fresh air, but it is the fact of that you're just being near plants, near trees, greens, birds, squirrels, So he said that he's trying to promote his patients to be outdoors as much as possible. Now, when I think about this, it kind of reminded me that I've had episodes of depression, and it's mostly winter depression, which is called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, which is also known as winter depression. And me being an outdoor person and growing up on a tiny tropical island where I'm surrounded by water, I'm constantly outdoors. I don't do well in winter, so I tend to kind of cocoon myself at home in winters, snuggle up under a blanket. And of course the lack of sunshine does make me, it's made it worse. So I can imagine how being outdoors is actually really, really healthy for us. So I'm just, trying to figure out, like how much more healthier and wealthier we'll be if we spend more time outdoors. And I think the digital world today is not helping us. I mean, my husband works from home very often, so he doesn't really go out and step out of the house now. And this is one reason why we're going to be doing some changes in our lifestyle to make sure that we spend more time outdoors. Now, the sun has just started shining. Now, the reason why outdoor therapy has been touted to be really good against depression is vitamin D. Sunshine is a good source of vitamin D, and one of the reasons why I had depression some time ago was because I had severe lack of vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency has been shown to not only cause rickets. I was beginning to have rickets, and I was pregnant with my daughter, which was she was not meant to survive the pregnancy. So I was also a bit depressed because of that. But also because, like I said, the winter was so harsh that I was completely depleted from my vitamin D. So sunshine helps with depression. So maybe you want to take a look. If you feel like I'm not ready yet to see a GP or a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist, maybe spend every day 15 minutes being outdoors. If you don't like gardening, maybe just sipping your coffee outdoors and just facing out to something green. Maybe bring a thermos of coffee or tea and just go for a brisk walk. So this professor has been so convinced that it is a great therapy that he's now prescribing it to his patients. I mean, they still probably have to pay, but it is a great therapy. So maybe you might wanna try it out. I mean, depression is something that we can play around with. It is a serious illness, just like having a flu or, having an illness like a rickets or arthritis. It needs to be managed. But before we go down the route of medication, maybe we can use nature as our medication. Now think about that, and if you have any more questions, let me know. If you got any suggestions, write them down below. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already my subscriber, don't forget to click subscribe. Thank you so much and enjoy this beautiful week further, and I'll speak to you in a few days.